Changing the method of inventory valuation should be reported in the financial statements under what qualitative characteristic of accounting information? Smart pick. Consistency is the correct choice.
Which one of the following is not a qualitative characteristic of financial information, according to the conceptual framework for financial reporting?
Nice selection. Accruals is the correct and valid answer.
It identifies the sources of cash inflows, the items on which cash was expended during the reporting period, and the cash balance as at reporting date.
On track. Statement of cash flows is the correct answer.
These are those intended to meet the needs of users who are not in a position to demand reports tailored to meet their particular information needs.
Correct. General purpose financial statements is the right answer.
Financial information must be complete, neutral, and free from errors. This is in accordance with the characteristics of financial reports, namely,
strong choice. Accurate representation is the right answer. If there are standards that conflict with the conceptual framework of financial reporting, then the company, in its accounting policies, must dash.
Excellent choice. Follow applicable standards is the right answer.
Using the straight line method of depreciation for reporting purposes and accelerated depreciation for tax purposes would most likely result in
Excellent. Temporary difference is a brilliant choice.
Qualitative characteristic that financial information must possess to be useful to the primary users of general-purpose financial reports include solid response. Faithful representation is a valid choice. That a financial report must be able to produce the same results when carried out by another person using the same method is referred to as dash. Sharp thinking. Verifiability is the right choice. This means an unintentional mistake in the financial statements, which reduces or increases the related accounts by 10% or more.
You're right. Error is the correct answer.
The framework attempts to develop a set of interrelated concepts, which serve to structure and explain existing financial reporting practices. Smart move. Descriptive framework is an accurate answer.
Significant financial reporting issues facing global financial reporting and efficient capital allocation include all of the following except. You chose how to provide backward-looking information. And it is correct. The international financial reporting environment includes challenges in financial reporting, including all of the following except.
Great job! Decision usefulness is the accurate answer. The responsibility for the fair presentation and reliability of financial statements rests with the dash of the reporting entity.
Well picked. Management is the correct answer.
Which accounting concept states that omitting or misstating this information could influence users of the financial statements?
Good job. Your answer? The materiality concept works well here.
It involves the process of preparation, presentation, and submission of general-purpose financial statements and other reports.
Right again. Financial reporting is a valid answer. For financial assets classified as available for sale, how are unrealized gains and losses reflected in shareholders' equity?
Perfect.
They are a component of accumulated other comprehensive income is the correct choice. If an entity adopts PERFERS for the first time in the current year, its first PERS financial statements include the following. Bravo! To statement of comprehensive income is the answer.
Accounting policies, methods, and estimates used in preparing financial statements are most likely to be found in the
Correct response. Notes to the financial statements is the most accurate answer.
contains the meaning of being able to be compared with financial reports in previous periods and with other companies.
Right choice. Comparability is the best answer. Which of the following elements of financial statements is most closely related to measurement of financial position? Exactly. Equity makes sense and it is right choice. Which one of the following assets may be classified as a non-current asset in the financial statements of a business? Great thinking. A computer used in the office is the right choice. Neutrality of information in the financial statements most closely contributes to which qualitative characteristic? Was? Nice work. You chose faithful representation, and it is correct. Preparation of consolidated financial statements when a parent-subsidiary relationship exists is an example of the well-reasoned. Economic entity assumption is the correct choice. Which is one of the elements of a financial report that describes a company's profit-loss position, namely? Good thinking. Profit or loss report is the right answer. Dash provide additional information and help clarify the items presented in the financial statements. You got it. Your choice, notes to FES, is right. The following are accounting standards prepared by the Financial Accounting Standards Board. Except valid point. Sharia accounting standards is true. Which of the following is not the enhancing qualitative characteristics of financial information? Clear logic. Your choice relevance is sound and 100% true. Which of the following is not a basic assumption underlying the financial accounting structure? Well done. Historical cost assumption is the right choice. Which basic assumption may not be followed when a firm in bankruptcy reports financial results? Nicely done. Going concern assumption is a solid answer. Which of the following stakeholders relies on financial reports to make investment decisions? Solid response. Shareholders is a valid choice.
To meet the financial information needs of users, the elements of financial reports are dash.
Nice work. You chose income and it is correct. Dash is a regulatory body that is responsible to promote monetary and financial stability. Clear logic. Your choice Malaysian National Bank is sound and 100% true. The financial statements most frequently provided include all of the following except the perfect. Statement of retained earnings is the correct choice. The financial statement that presents a shareholder's residual claim on assets is the strong choice. Balance sheet is the right answer. As generally accepted accounting principles are currently developed by which entity? Well reasoned.
The Financial Accounting Standards Board is the correct choice. Which of the following is not a required financial statement according to ESNO 1? Well picked. Statement of changes in income is the correct answer.
International financial reporting standards are currently developed by which entity?
Smart move. The International Accounting Standards Board is an accurate answer.
Under PEFAS for small entities, any changes in accounting estimates are accounted for. Correct response. Prospectively by including it in profit or loss is the most accurate answer. Which of the following is not a qualitative characteristic of financial statements?
Correct. Reliable is the right answer.
A core objective of the International Organization of Securities Commissions is to
Smart pick. Ensure that markets are fair, efficient, and transparent is the correct choice. Which of the following is not an assumption in preparing financial statements? Dash. Good thinking. Cost is the right answer. It shows the results of operation of the entity at the end of a particular period. You're right. Statement of financial performance is the correct answer. The following are accounts that must be eliminated in the financial statements. Great thinking. Investment is the right choice. Past 34 states a presumption that anyone reading interim financial reports will.
Bravo. Have access to the most recent annual report is the answer.
What role does financial reporting play in improving a company's credibility? Meh. Great job. It demonstrates transparency and accountability to stakeholders is the accurate answer.
What is the first document financing reporting Malaysia before independence?
You got it. Your choice company's ordinances 1940, 1946, 1956. The elements of financial statements which relate to financial position are. Right again. Assets, liabilities, and equity is a valid answer. The enhancing qualitative characteristics of financial information include. Right choice. Comparability and understandability is the best answer. Which of the following remained unchanged in the 2018 conceptual framework? Well done. Concepts of capital and capital maintenance is the right choice. Which is not information presented in the statement of financial position. Sharp thinking. EBITDA is the right choice. Which statement tells you about the financial performance of the company? Nice selection. Income statement is the correct and valid answer. What is the importance of financial reporting for regulatory authorities? Valid point. To enforce taxation policies is true. It should be understandable to people with general financial knowledge. Nicely done. Understandability is a solid answer. Interim financial reports released by a company are most likely to be. Excellent choice. Unaudited is the right answer. How does financial reporting contribute to transparency in a company?
On track. By providing accurate and comprehensive financial information to stakeholders is the correct answer.
What financial statement assertion is not covered by FEFRIO 1 and FRO 2? Exactly. Restricted access makes sense, and it is right choice.
In day transaction, financial asset is created by crediting creating.
You chose profit and loss account, and it is correct. It shows the financial condition of the entity as at a certain date. Excellent. Statement of financial position is a brilliant choice.
Which of the following is a key quality of a good financial report?
Good job. Your answer presenting accurate and reliable financial information works well here. On which financial statement would the dividends account appear? Great thinking. Retained earnings statement is the right choice. Accumulated other comprehensive income will be presented in dash. On track. Statement of financial position in the equity section is the correct answer.
What are the financial statement assertions covered by FRO 21?
Excellent. Completeness and accuracy is a brilliant choice. Which of the following has the highest authoritative support? Bravo. International Financial Reporting Standards is the answer. Under Pass 34, interim financial reports should be published. Good job. Your answer whenever the entity wishes works well here. The primary users of general-purpose financial reports are nicely done. Investors and lenders is a solid answer. The income statement is best used to evaluate a company's. Well reasoned. Financial results from business activities is the correct choice. Who issues international financial reporting standards? Valid point. The International Accounting Standards Board is true. Financial accounting standards in Indonesia adopt dash. Well picked. International Financial Reporting Standards is the correct answer.
Why is financial reporting important for businesses?
Sharp thinking. To comply with legal requirements is the right choice. Which financial report content can be customized? Nice selection. SLIP is the correct and valid answer. The conceptual framework is not a template for. Strong choice. Auditor EPIP is the right answer. A balance sheet reports a business's financial. Correct response. Condition on a specific date is the most accurate answer. Interest expense should be presented as dash. You chose financial burden, and it is correct. Financial reports must be presented on time. You're right. Relevant is the correct answer. How many financial statements are there? Correct. 3 is the right answer. What is the role of the ASP? Nice work. You chose Formulate International Financial Reporting Standards, and it is correct. Accounting is all about good thinking. Providing relevant financial information for decision makers is the right answer. Which is correct? You got it. Your choice, ICE 10 events after the reporting period, is right. IFA stands for exactly. International financial reporting standards make sense, and it is right choice. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Perfect. Contact Narayan Changder is the correct choice.